G'day guys. Now we are here in Brisbane today for another episode of Ryco Workshop Heroes. I'm here at GT Auto Garage. I do some really awesome stuff. So let's head in, find David and have a look around. Alrighty, let's go and have a look and see what's going on here. Oh, straight away, look at this. Damn, wide bodies, time attack cars. Now where is he? Ah, there he is. On the dyno, as expected. He's got his headphones on. Hey mate.
How you going, mate?
What are you up to there?
Oh, just finishing up a Motec tune, but
nice.
yeah,
Tidy maps.
Yeah, give me a sec and I'll be with you.
So I mean, you know, there's heaps of really awesome stuff in this workshop to look at, but let's start right here and work our way around. I mean, tell me, what's the deal with this S15 and how much power does it make? How fast does it go?
Time Attack S15, Charles Warland, owner from Dream Garage. Been a customer for many years. He was wanting to build a Time Attack car. We had a discussion about who to go and talk to. Yeah, we ended up, after all the preliminary kind of aero designs and packaging came together, the car came here with just a shell. So caged, all the fab work had been done, came here, and yeah, we basically assembled the whole car just before 2019 World Time Attack.
Nice, and I mean obviously it's got all that Time Attack typical stuff like the massive front aero, side aero, I'm guessing there's aero underneath.
Yeah, no, open floor,
okay.
So it's open class car.
Yep.
So yeah, so no center aero, just like bigger side skirts.
Yep.
And yeah, big front bar, big rear wing. Yeah, billet motor. We're about just on the 900 horsepower at the moment.
I mean, obviously a lot of people with these go to like a 6-cylinder, like an RB or something like that. You've stuck with SR. I mean, is it still a 2 litre or is it a stroker?
2.2.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's 2.2, billet bottom end. Yeah, VVL head. Yep. With the EFR 9180, I think it is, the turbo.
Yep, nice CPC manifold.
CPC manifold, dry sumped, full PWR cooling package. Really helpful when they're local.
Yeah. I mean, as far as you know, Time Attack and setup and that sort of things go, I mean, you raced in 2019. How'd you go then?
Third. We came third in class. So yeah, in open class for first event, first kind of minimal shakedown. Yeah, did pretty well really for a brand new build.
And Sydney Motorsport Park's, like, you'd probably say it's a fairly unforgiving track with like the massive high-speed turn one.
Yes. Yeah.
I think my favourite part here is definitely the exhaust out the side there.
Yep.
It looks fairly offensive.
It's Time Attack. It can be.
No, brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, what do we got over here? We've got some Subarus by the looks.
Yeah, more Subarus. We've got a few of them in the shop at the moment. This is a fresh build, so same chassis, same everything, just car had never come apart since it was a street car, and it had just been developed over the years, and so COVID kind of put a stop to motorsport, so the owner decided to basically strip it, paint it, and yeah, give it a big birthday. So with this new configuration, we're still running low boost, we're still, so we got all new Nitron shocks in it, playing with front end geometry, getting all the aero to work properly. So it's a bit of a, we're pretty much working on building up to where we need to be.
And I mean, for like all the Subaru nerds out there, what is the motor setup and how much power is it making?
Well, at the moment, it's only like, we haven't even used it yet, but making on 28 pounds, we're just on 500 kilowatts.
Yep.
So it's a new bottom end, so it's a full closed deck. It runs copper annealed head gaskets. It's got the G35 1050 with a 1.21 exhaust. Modern sequential paddle shift, all Motec again, full titanium 3.5-inch exhaust.
And this will be an open class car, I'm guessing?
Pro-Am.
Pro-Am, okay.
So full flat floor. So we're basically, his aim is to crack into the sub 30s with the car. And yeah, on this build, we moved all the CG of the car. So all the weight is now offset by the driver, so it's all in the passenger seat. Okay. So no passenger rides anymore. No, and having, like, by the looks of it, the driver's seat's a fair bit further back as well. Yeah, so we pushed the driver's seat back, I think almost 100 mil. Yep. And then we dropped it by about the same. Okay. So the actual, so the whole driver is sitting, way lower in the car. Again, trying to offset that, your CG of the whole car. And this one here, this one's been there as well? Yeah, so another Subaru, another So there's Dan from Car Mods Australia. Again, yeah, I've been looking after a similar time frame. Pretty much a standard kind of chassis, nothing too crazy. New rear wing, new front splitters and canards and stuff. But similar spec motor, not as extreme as what this one is. This has got a G35 84 turbo. We had made like 36 pounds, it was like 580 kilowatts. Never used it because the car is fast enough, not even getting there. 2.5 litre. This has got a PPG sequential paddle shift, all Motec again. Again, both cars, all PWR cooling packages.
I'm guessing Tarzan's done a few laps in this car?
Yes, in 2019, yeah, 2019, yeah. Tarzan, set it up and had a few laps in Sydney, and
yeah, I mean, what did he think of an Aussie-built WRX, and what was his feedback to you?
There was a little bit of lost in translation on that one. His English wasn't the best, but no, he was pretty impressed with the power delivery and the setup of the car. They like their chassis very rigid, like really heavy shocks, heavy sway bars, so a lot different to a lot of what we do. So that was a bit of it was interesting to see the different style.
Yeah. And how was his mechanical sympathy? He's a pretty wild driver. He's
on the edge, let's put it that way. Yeah.
No, brilliant. All right, well, let's keep moving around. What else have we got?
Well, I won't actually release this one yet because I won't say who the owner is because he hasn't released it yet.
Okay.
But 34 GDR, we're just doing intercooler upgrades, oil cooler upgrades. It's getting a link ECU. Yeah, just basically fixing a lot of the car. It was it needed some love, basically. So just fixing a lot of stuff, cleaning the car up, and getting it ready to be a street car.
And I mean, 34s now, even stock, are just perfect.
Yeah,
and
they are.
This is nice just because subtle mods and...
Yeah, so the Z-Shun guards, the N1 bonnet. Yeah, so basically it's pretty simple really. It's got, I think it's just all slightly bigger cams, like 256s and some set of high flow turbos. It's pretty much just getting it back on the road to start with, and then we'll see what the owner does with it.
And I mean, obviously with the HKS cooler there, you do a lot of HKS stuff because you are the local HKS guys.
Yes. Yeah, we do a lot of HKS stuff. Again, HKS and the Japanese market, the quality is realistically in that market is second to none. Like, they just work.
As far as GDRs goes, I've noticed there's a few out in the car park already.
Yeah.
I mean, how many GDRs do you think you've worked on and built over the years?
So I've been working on GDRs, like 32s, 33s, 34s since 02.
Right, yeah.
So a few years. So when these were brand new, I was working on them here. So yeah.
Well, I guess then what would be your favourite GDR build to date then?
I haven't been asked that one. That's a tricky one.
Yeah.
My favourite, just a straight out favourite GDR is actually the gold one at the front.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's so special about that one?
Oh, it's just because it's an M spec. Yeah. It's like low-K, well looked after, and just you get in it and it feels like a brand new car. Yeah. And these days, like there's a lot of them out there, and you get in that one and it's like, that'd have to be, even though I didn't build it or anything, I just maintained it. It was actually my first FCon that I did was that car. Back in 05, I think it was. Around that, yeah. And
I mean, there's something secret under the cover there, so we won't go to that.
We won't go into that one.
I can see another GDR here with lots of shiny bits on it.
Yeah, this is Mark Street FX 35. Just waiting on a transmission at the moment to really step up the power. Yep. I think we're at just under 900 horsepower with a single set of injectors. Yeah, once we get the transmission, it's all, the secondary set of 2600s get all plumbed in. Yep. Whole new fuel system. Yeah, and then we'll make some big power.
And what's big power now?
Well, what I want and what Mark wants is two different things. But for me, my aim is around the 15 to 1600 at the wheels. The turbos will support, I think, up to 18, 1900 at the wheels.
When people talk that sort of horsepower 10 years ago, that was just ludicrous, supercharged methanol drag car kind of stuff. Now it's like, street car.
It's like, nah, aircon works, everything works, drive to the track, drive home.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's a different level these days.
So, I mean, a bit of rotary action. What's going on out there?
This RX-8. The RX-8, so it's got a 20B PP in it. It's all Heltec, obviously, with all the stickers in there. Yeah, so with Modena sequential,
Yep.
and just normal stick flat shift in it. Doing a dry sump upgrade on it.
Okay.
A kit out of the States. Yeah, and switching over to E85. So it has been running on 98. So he's the new owner. So Anthony sold it, and it's a new owner from South Australia actually.
Okay, well.
So yeah, so just fixing that up. Had a few small issues with the kit, which the guys in America has fixed for us. So yeah, kind of on the home straight now.
And I mean, obviously another World Time Attack.
Yes.
The graduate. So
Yeah.
you know, that's what class will that be in when it goes back out
That's
again?
another open class.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, just another 35.
GDR, yeah.
So there's in for a engine upgrade. Yeah, make a few more horsepower.
Yep. And you do a few of these. I saw a couple in the driveway on the way through.
Yeah, these they're pretty common now. Everyone, you know, I think for the money, they're a lot of car for the dollars. They kind of do everything. They good horsepower, even on stock setup. They make good horsepower, fun, comfortable street car. Yeah, but yeah, no, we do a lot of them now.
They're just fat and
yeah, they are
beasty. Yeah. There's a car. I mean, there's a couple here in the middle I quite like, but car down the front there I really want to check out.
Yeah,
it's very different.
The Fiat's Paulie, the owner of him, he's of it. He's talking to me the other day about it. I think he's had it since 2008, and he full restored the body. We've actually just fitted these period correct seats to the car, and yeah, he's kept the Fiat motor, but it's got a slightly added bonus on the side of it.
I mean, this here screams to me like I worked for Fast Wars magazine, so back in those days it was all Rigolis and turbo Fiats and stuff like that. It was great. And
yeah. So basically that's So it's a street car, goes to the track in it. We've just so he's gone making it a new car by going drive-by-wire.
Yep.
So electric throttle, upgrading to M150, just to control so it's got a sequential in it as well, just because as you do. Well, we couldn't, the standard box, he broke twice on the track, so he just went, I'll do it right and just put the sequential in it.
Yep.
So yeah, now it'll have the M150 controlling the throttle blips, upshift, downshift, so it's a lot smoother and nicer to drive.
So, I mean, middle of the shop here, tell me what's going on here. These are obviously the centerpiece of the workshop.
What do you want to
today.
start with, the new or the old? Like the 90s.
Let's start with the history part of this.
The 90s NSX. Yeah, so another customer obviously, he bought this a few years back from Sydney with the wide body, everything on it. Had a silver wrap, I think it was, or a black wrap on it. Can't remember, but yeah, we stripped it, had it properly painted. It's got a turbo kit on it with running a M130 light ECU, Motec again. And it's just a street car basically. He just wanted it to one of those 90s, you know, hero cars when you're a kid. But yeah, I mean, it's a simple, like it's still a standard motor, just with a small, it's like a 10 PSI tune in it. Just a light, just got a little bit extra power, just really drivable. Just got that early supercar when you sit in them, feel to them.
And tell me.
And and to the current cult car that it is the new GR Yaris.
And I mean, I tend to make jokes a bit about GR Yaris. It's not about what they are, it's just like you seem to go to every coffee in cars, there's like 20 of them.
Everyone's
the fastest one there. Yeah.
Always is. But no, this is Wayne, again, a good customer. He actually was the first, so we imported the Rocket Bunny wide body kit, same as the HKS, out of Japan. So we were the first to fit one in Australia.
And how much wider is it than a standard Yaris?
Like 300 mils. Lots, like a lot. Yeah, when you spark a standard one beside it, it all kind of melds in well with the proper offset rims, but when you put a standard one beside it, it looks small compared to this.
Yeah, looks like a stock Yaris.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, but it's got HKS exhaust we've just, a couple of weeks ago, put the new Motec plug-in for it. And it's at the moment, it's just literally like it's a very light tune, but he's putting bigger turbo, flex tune, new cams, valve springs, valves on it next.
And I guess, I mean, you've been around this car for a bit, and for the people that don't understand what the GR Yaris is, I mean, how would you explain it to somebody who was saying, you know, what's so special about those things? Because they're kind of unique.
They're very, it's I'd almost, for Toyota, it'd be almost like the, when they first brought out the GT4. It was a similar thing, you had the standard front wheel drive, and then next minute you got this four wheel drive turboed kind of sports car.
Yeah.
And it's a similar thing, like, you get the standard Yaris, but it's 1.6 litre aspirated. And then they brought this out to, obviously, to homologate, which was the same back in the day with the early Celicas.
Yeah.
Then it's a 1.6 litre 3-cylinder, which is unusual.
Weird, yeah.
But four-wheel drive and making monsters amount of mid-range torque standard.
So I guess, we've looked around the shop and seen some really awesome cars, but then sort of spotted this in the corner. I'm like, well, you mentioned before that you started with GTRs and so forth, and this is a good thing to lean on, really. I mean, how did it all start for you? How did you actually get into cars in the first place?
Apprenticeship back in Toyota over in Strathpine, and my boss, he was into Targa Tasmania, so he had a ST185 Celica GT4. Yeah, so kind of, I guess, being an apprentice around that, it was a pretty heavily modified car, and I kind of started from there. And then after that, after my apprenticeship, I got offered a job at a tarmac rally, again, it's like Targa Tasmania based workshop. So yeah, spent 4 years there. So I did a lot of GTRs, RX-7s, Mazdas, Rotaries, but yeah, predominantly Nissan stuff. And so kind of just developed from that, and then travelled for 12 months, went to Japan, worked in Japan for a little bit. And then
well, tell us a bit about that. I mean, you can't just skip past that part.
It was pretty, it was just working, and that was sort of exporting cars. So I wasn't really, like, I was doing some mechanical stuff on the side for a couple of the guys over there, but it was all just more sending cars back to Australia and more travelling. I think it was more just a time off.
And I mean, as far as your business goes, what makes you tick as far as coming into work every day? I mean, that's obviously cool stuff, but what do you love about what you do?
For me, it's the tuning side, like dealing with, especially like I like motec, so predominantly that's what we do. But it's, again, the time attack stuff. And I guess it's the people, like a lot of our customers are always long-term. They're not, like a short-term stuff, especially our racing guys. They're all like long-term.
Brilliant. Well, I mean, I guess the last thing is, how do people find out about GT Auto Garage? And
predominantly, like as a business, we've never advertised. It's always been word of mouth. Most of our customers have always been word of mouth, which we've always found work the best.
Yep.
But we do have Facebook, obviously. We've got a website. Predominantly, like everyone these days, it's on Facebook. All of our details, or pop into the shop.
Brilliant. Well, really appreciate your time, man.
Yeah,
it's been a pleasure, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with that Yaris there. I want to see some shots of it out on track.
Yeah, and does race it. He's always at the track with it.
Brilliant.
Not
awesome. Thanks, man.
Not a drama.
Cheers.